Christiana Gross is here with sports. How about them Packers? Still undefeated?
Well, before we get to the Packers, let's talk a little NASCAR. Tony Stewart is a three-time NASCAR champ. He won the Sprint Cup Championship at Homestead Miami Speedway, making his first title since 2005. He's the first owner-driver to win the championship since Alan Kulwicki in 1992. His victory gave him a tie in the final Sprint Cup Series standings with Carl Edwards. Stewart had 5 victories during the chase, which set him apart from Edwards to win it all. This is the first tie in point standings in NASCAR history. Landon Donovan scored the game-winning goal to lead the LA Galaxy to the MLS Cup. The Galaxy beat the Houston Dynamo 1-0 in front of a record home crowd of more than 30,000 fans at Home Depot Center. The goal came in the 71st minute when LA's Robbie Keane split 2 Dynamo defenders. Then he passed the ball to a streaking Donovan, who kicked it past the Houston keeper. David Beckham played a great game in what could be his last MLS game, as his 5-year contract comes to an end. The Galaxy team is being called the best team Major League Soccer has ever seen. The USC Trojans upset the 4th-ranked Oregon Ducks in a 38-35 victory. The Ducks were behind the whole game but battled back to make it close. We'll start in the second half. The Ducks trailing 31-14 in the third. USC's Matt Barkley throws a 5-yard touchdown. Trojans lead 38-14. On the kickoff, Oregon's DeAnthony Thomas fakes the reverse and keeps it as he runs 96 yards for the kickoff return. Just like that, it's a 3-score game. 7 minutes left in the fourth. The Ducks, the Michael James rushes for the 1-yard touchdown. Oregon would convert for 2. Trojans get the ball back with a chance to run out the clock, but Mark Tyler loses the ball and Oregon recovers the fumble. Oregon has a chance to tie, but the field goal is pulled wide left and USC escapes with the win. The loss snapped Oregon's 21-game win streak and wiped out any chance Oregon had for a second straight BCS berth in the national championship game. Now for the Packers. The Green Bay Packers improved to 10-0 after defeating the Tampa Bay Buccaneers in a tough NFC matchup. The Packers defense had trouble stopping Tampa running back LeGarrette Blount all game. In the second, the Bucs down 14-0 when Blount bulldozes his way through the Packers D for what could be the best run of the season. He broke at least 6 tackles for 54 yards and put Tampa on the board. We go to the fourth, the Pack up 28-19. Bucs QB Josh Freeman finds wide open Desmond Briscoe for the touchdown. The Bucs couldn't convert for 2 points, so the score is 28-26. The Packers would answer on the ensuing drive. Aaron Rodgers drops back and airs it out when he hits Jordy Nelson for the 40-yard go-ahead touchdown. Nelson enjoys his second Lambeau leap of the day. Rodgers finished with 299 yards and 3 touchdowns. LA Dodgers pitcher Clayton Kershaw has won the NL Cy Young Award. Kershaw is the first LA Dodger pitcher to be honored since 2003 and the first LA starter in 23 years. He won the award decisively, getting 27 of 32 first-place votes. Phillies' Roy Halladay finished second. Kershaw tied the NL League with 21 wins and just 5 losses. The left-hander also led the league with 2.28 ERA and 248 strikeouts, earning his way to his first All-Star game. Kershaw says winning the award is something special and he's not going to take it for granted. Now to the AL. Detroit Tigers' Justin Verlander has been named the AL MVP. This comes after he won the Cy Young Award. Verlander is the first pitcher to win an MVP award in almost 20 years. Boston center fielder Jacoby Ellsbury finished second in voting, just ahead of Toronto's right fielder Jose Bautista. Verlander went 24-5 with a 2.4 ERA. Verlander says winning the award is a dream come true for him. That's all for sports. Back to you.
A Southern California man was one of 2 runners who died in a Philadelphia marathon. Police say it appears both men died from heart attacks. 21-year-old Jeffrey Lee was from Cerritos and died just after finishing the race. A 40-year-old man died a quarter mile from the finish line.
Syria and Arab foreign ministers have failed to agree on a plan to safely allow monitors into the country. The Syrian government has used the military to crush reform protests and killed thousands of people. Arab officials say its purpose is to end the violence against Syrian people. Syrian Foreign Minister Walid Malam says his country would provide observers with all the protection they need. Malam says he wants the Arab League to take more time to develop its plan so a proper decision can be made. Officials say this dispute shows the difficulty of knowing exactly what is going on in Syria. The United Nations says nearly 4,000 people have been killed since protests began last March. Syrian officials say they understand the League could seek UN approval for safe zones or no-fly zones within the country, but Western officials have denied any intention to intervene at this time.
5 people are dead and more than 1,000 have been injured in protests across Egypt. Protesters clashed with military, police, and security forces at Tahrir Square in Cairo. Police and soldiers used batons and tear gas to drive protesters back while civilians threw rocks at police. Demonstrators are upset the military government has not handed over control to the civilian leaders. Egyptian parliamentary elections are scheduled for November 28th, but the military government has considered postponing those elections. Officials are afraid election results could spark another revolution as factions battle over ideological differences.
That's it for Valley View News. I'm Courtney Clavon.
And I'm Lori Bullivin. Thank you for watching.